Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the transit of Venus in Gemini that's happening on the 26th of July 2025 and its impact on Cancer rising. So anybody with a Cancer rising, Cancer ascendant, Cancer lagna or moon in Cancer, this video is applicable for all of them. So guys, Venus, the planet of beauty, the planet of love, the planet of attraction, the planet of romance, the planet of sensuality, okay, the planet of elegance, the planet of charm, the most beautiful planet, is now moving into your 12th house, is now transiting into your 12th house on the 26th of July in conjunction with Jupiter. So, guys, when the guru of demons, that is Venus, and the guru of Devta, that is, Jupiter, when they form a conjunction, when they come together, they form a Lakshmi Narayan yoga. Now, that's a very auspicious yoga for wealth. Okay. Now, they are coming into the 12th house, which means they would activate everything related to the 12th house. So, before I talk to you about, what is coming your way with this movement of Venus, let me just give you a quick overview on what kind of areas are controlled by Venus and what kind of areas are controlled by Jupiter in your chart. So, Venus, rules your 4th house, okay, which is the house of your home. Venus rules your 11th house, the house of your gains and long-term desire. Jupiter lords the 6th house of your enemies, of your debts, of your diseases. And Jupiter lords the 9th house of your luck, your destiny. So, they both have, very good houses and they're coming together. Like Venus have a house in Kendra. Okay, Jupiter lords the house in Cone. So, they are both very important planets. They are coming together into your 12th house. So, and forming a Lakshmi Narayan yoga. Okay, now let's talk about what is this transit bringing in for you guys. So 12th house, what is the 12th house for? 12th house is the house of foreign land. 12th house is the house of bed pleasures. 12th house is the house of expenses. So with this particular movement of Venus, what is happening is that first there is a very high probability that you may migrate to a foreign land. Okay, you may migrate for job, for business, okay, or you just migrate with your family. Okay, there is also a possibility that like somebody living in US, they move to a place like Bali, or they move to place somewhere in South America just for as a digital nomad. So this movement of Venus completely supports permanent foreign settlement or a long term foreign settlement. This is coming your way, guys. Now, the next thing is, guys, this is the house of bed pleasure. Venus is the planet of sensuality. Venus represents love. So, if you look at a female's chart, you look at Jupiter as her spouse. Okay. And if you look at a male's chart, you look at Venus as his spouse. So, both these planets are coming together with Venus being the planet of sensuality and in that house of bed pleasures. Okay. Which means your bed pleasures, would be at its peak. It would be at its, optimum, at the best. Okay, wherein both these energies would give you some amazing experiences around bed pleasures. So that's what is seen. Now thirdly, this is the house for expenses. Okay, so which means there could be some expenses, some great expenses, which would give you a lot of good karma, which is you may spend money in terms of donation, in terms of some kind of a charity. Okay, this is also seen. Now, moving on to the house which Venus lords is the 4th house. So, 4th house is the house of your home, okay, where you live. It is the house of your real estate. Okay, it is the house of your vehicles. It is the house of your mother. It is the house of your contentment. Okay, now 4th house lord in the 12th house, which means there is a possibility that you may buy a home abroad in a foreign land. Okay, you may buy a vehicle in a foreign land. People who are already living away from their motherland or living in a foreign land, you may buy like you may go for a renovation in your house. You may go for an ultra luxury furniture in your house. You may go for some, beautiful artworks, some beautiful paintings, okay, some very ethnic things in your house, in your home. That is seen. Anything related to Venus, which is around luxury and beauty. Okay, this is seen from here. Now, again, there is a possibility that people who are living abroad, they may buy an ultra luxury vehicle with this. Expenses would be done in this area. So now that's mostly about the fourth house. Now the sixth house, which is the house of your enemies. So guys, sixth house is the house of your disease, your enemies, your debts, your daily routine. So with what is happening now, sixth house Lord is Jupiter is now transiting in your 12th house, or is already transiting in your 12th house, which means that forms a Vipreet Raj Yoga. Okay, that's a very good Raj Yoga. Okay, which means what would happen is, like, anyone who is struggling with some kind of a disease, and that disease is not getting diagnosed. Okay, as soon as this transit happens, you would see that the disease you gets diagnosed, you get the right doctor, you get the right treatment, you get the right medicines. Okay, and you bring that disease under control, or you may cure it also, because Jupiter also have an aspect on your 8th house, which is the house for longevity, which means anything which is undiagnosed till now, it would get diagnosed and it would get cured, because Jupiter is supporting your longevity. That is also seen. Now the second thing is about your debts. Okay, guys, there is a very high probability you would be able to, both the biggest benefits are aspecting your 6th house, which means anything around debt. If you want to pay off the debt, pay off the bad debt, that is possible. If you want to take the debt, that is also possible. Now 4th house, which means there is a possibility that you may buy a home by taking debt in a foreign land, or you may just buy a home by debt. You may take a loan for that, you may take a home loan for that, you may buy a vehicle with a loan. That is also seen. Now, so what I'm trying to say, debt wise, it would be a good situation. You would be able to manage your debt very well. Okay, now the third thing, this is about your daily routine. So this is, again, such a beautiful aspect of Jupiter and Venus happening, which means your daily routine, okay, would become excellent. And because it has a connection with the bed pleasures, so guys, it becomes very, very important for having a good health in order to enjoy the marital life. So which means, you would include some kind of a workout, some kind of an exercise, okay, some kind of anything, physical exercise, which you would make a part of your daily routine. That could be a running, that could be a walk, that could be swimming, that could be jogging, that could be a gym, or that could be yoga, cycling, anything. But with this movement, there is a very high probability some physical activity you would make a part of your daily life. Okay, and then you would do it repeatedly, repetitively. That's also seen from here. Now, this is the house for enemies also. So with this, what would happen is your competition at work, your enemies at work, you would be able to overpower them. Okay, with your knowledge, or with your charm, with your communication, you would be able to defeat them with your communication, with your charm. Okay, or those people, those enemies would become your friends. That is also seen. Now, any kind of competition which is applying for an IJP at your workplace, or applying for maybe a competition in a foreign land. Okay, maybe for some any kind of an education in a foreign land, and you have to appear for a competition, you would be able to beat you would be able to crack the competition. So you would be excellent around competition in this area. I mean, with this movement of Venus. So that's mostly about the 6th house, guys. Now let's move on to the 9th house. So 9th house is the house of long term travel. 9th house is the house of your religion. Okay, and 9th house is the house of your luck. So guys, what is happening is, one, there could be like, you may, and ninth house is the house for higher learning also. So you may go to a foreign country for a long term travel in terms of education. Okay, whatever like level you are, you may go for a higher education above that level to a foreign land. This is seen. Now, the second thing is you may go for a religious travel. You may just go for, travel to a foreign land for meditation, for spiritualism, okay, and just for self discovery. That is also seen. Now, let's move on to the 11th house, which is the house of Venus. And the Lord of, that house is sitting in the house of expenses, which means, guys, and 11th house is the house of your social network, your professional network. Okay, it is the house of your desire, long term desire, and, gains, which means if you had any kind of, if you have any kind of a long term desire, or maybe a desire around some uh, ultra luxury clothing, ultra luxury shoes, bags, some expensive watches, okay, some expensive jewelry, diamonds, maybe a solitaire. Okay, you have a desire for some kind of a vehicle, some kind of, a beautiful home, some kind of a painting, okay, or maybe some extreme fine dining, extreme, holidays, like very luxury holidays. Okay, if you have any kind of a desire, this is the time you would see all those desires would get fulfilled, because the Lord is Venus. So anything related to Venus, which is around anything around beauty, luxury, the best quality of food, the best exotic, travels, is all seen from here. The best jewelry, this is all seen from here. So, you would see all your desires with this movement is getting fulfilled. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk, guys. It's a beautiful transit. All you people who are planning to migrate abroad, excellent time for you people. And people who are already in a foreign land, away from their motherland, they would see some amazing times, coming in. So all my good wishes are with you guys. Now, secondly, anyone with a cancer rising, I'm sorry, anyone with a cancer rising who wants to ask any question, you can write in the comment and I will answer, because here I want to contribute my maximum, okay, with this particular Lakshmi Narayan yoga. So guys, that's mostly what I wanted to talk. Anyone wants to connect with me over a one-to-one discussion around your chart, okay, you can connect with me on the WhatsApp or on my email address. Now, one thing I would like to add here, guys, who gets this impact? Okay, so people with cancer rising, passing through with Venus times, Venus Mahadasha or Antardasha, or passing through with Jupiter times, Jupiter Antardasha or Mahadasha. They are the people who would see 100% of this impact. For other people, the impact would be little milder. So that's mostly what I wanted to talk, guys, about this video. So if you like this video, guys, I would request you to subscribe my channel, to press the bell notification, and also cancer people to add a comment, because your comment, it really validates my effort. So thanks a lot for your time, guys. You have a great day. Thank you.